Yeah, so El Honcho has their talk restaurant is having a boxing fight. But you know what is so funny? I don't like that white people are not mad. I can't believe that. There are some white people that are not mad that the Mexicans are out of order, but I think it's because they're from Mexico. So we do see that there are some white people from Mexico, and there's some black people that are from Mexico. But to get into Mexico, you have to have a license plate. You got to have a lot of documents to cross that border. You can't just like get into Mexico. So it's okay for people to admit, if they live in Mexico, to the American citizens, or if they think that they're from Mexico. Sometimes I think it's better to just tell people your truth because, we have to keep the environment safe, and we have to make sure that, we're not, offending ourselves, okay, and keeping false promises to the United States of America's Constitution because, there was a promise there, okay, and the promise is that, we're going to do everything we can to be an American citizen, to make sure that we're obeying the American citizens' laws. And, some people think that, it's about race, but it's really not about race because white people are probably the ones whoever white, I would say, and some black people who are not mad, probably the drug dealers. Okay, they might actually be abusers. That's what I'm trying to say too. They might be abusers, okay, because the first thing they say is, oh, send them over there, send them over to the black people's house, send them over there, but don't send them to black people's house because there's nothing over there for you. Okay, we like peace. Okay, all of the schools have the same amount of education. We teach them all the same. Some people might know how to elaborate and know how to explain things a little bit easier, for the kids to kind of grasp and understand and be able to show how to apply it early. That's probably what people are thinking about the academy school. Okay, the academy school, I taught there before. They don't really, they teach a little bit, but most of it is like you doing a lot of your work on the computer, okay? And it's simplified. It's easier for you probably for you to understand. So it's a less stressful, school day, okay? We have a lot of people who think like, okay, well, if I go to a prep school, then I don't really need to go to college, okay? Because some prep schools will offer you like college credits or something, okay, for going to their school, okay? But we always want to make sure that we are continuously trying to educate ourselves, because the more we educate ourselves, the less ignorant we'll be, the more likely we'll be able to accept differences, okay? So Mexico might seem like it's a pretty tropical place, housing looks pretty, because they have all the builders there, and I think people there might want to do business with the United States of America. It's just that some people don't like the way that they initiate that they want to do business with you, okay? And the reason being is because it came out as a crime spree, okay? So if it came out as a crime spree, it came out, with you lying, it came out with you fighting, okay? All of that is not really a part of our intelligence, okay? You can say, well, we're fighting because we're trying to teach them how to fight. It's not the same thing if you have somebody's arms wrapped behind their back, okay? If you have somebody's arms tied to their back, okay? Black African American men are supposed to know to tell, Okay, we don't teach them to fight with their arms behind their back. Okay, if you were with one of our militant soldiers and you threw them in water and their arms are tied to their back, they might be able to handle that type of stress level. Okay, we're not supposed to be challenging our sportsmen, okay, or any entertainer, into any type of fun like that. Okay, anybody who agrees, because that might be a form of torture. Okay, you're torturing someone every single day. We have international laws against torturing whomever it is that's able to handle, that kind of stress level. Okay, I'm going to tell you that I don't like that type of stress level for our human being. Okay, any human being. Okay, you're a threat to them. Okay, I feel like, to make sure that you don't do it again, I will say that you're assaulting someone's husband, someone's mate. Okay, don't try to claim it yourself so that way you can continue the abuses, because it's not yours. Okay, and that's why you're fighting. You're fighting because you have access, but you made yourself have access. Why? Because you're a traffic officer. Okay, so if an attorney ever asks you, well, where did you get his personal information from? You're gonna say, well, I got it from a digital device. Okay, maybe it was through a customers, maybe it was through a client's, maybe it was through the government's federal agency, like the FBI's are with you. Okay, you're gonna say that you got their information that way. All right, but we always want to think that, even though people might be alone, it's okay to be alone. Okay, in the United States of America, if someone tells you that they're married or they have a mate, it is a crime. It is a crime to cause injury to those people. Okay, it is a crime to continue to keep bothering those people. Okay, and we want to make sure that everybody feels safe. Okay, we want to make sure that everybody's human rights is respected. If you don't understand what that means, okay, it is not our responsibility, okay, to allow people to get injured, okay, to have their feelings hurt. Okay, we want to make sure that everyone has a happiness, whether it's alone, it's quiet, they will make friends that are kind, that are nice to them. That's what we want for our human beings. Okay, that was the reason. Okay, that was the reason. Okay, that we have these human rights laws. That's what your Mexico and all these other countries. Okay, they might need to update too their human rights laws. You might need to show them to the United States of America, Immigration's Department, I think, okay, or the Civil Rights Attorney, before you can actually go back around our human beings, because we already told you that you didn't have a human right or a civil right, okay, to be around someone, and you still went there anyways. Okay, so when someone is choosing to not listen, okay, to what the laws are, it will start to make people upset. Okay, it will start to make people mad. Okay, because people do not like that the laws are being ignored. Okay, the plenary power, no matter what your government is. Now you're going to tell me, well, my government is this, my government is that. You have to say, well, what government do you think that person came from? Okay, so you can treat your human beings like that that's a part of your government. Okay, but if you know that it's from somebody else's government, what should you do? You should mind your manners. Okay, you probably shouldn't feed them. You shouldn't give them anything to eat. Okay, you should make sure that, you know what I'm saying, everybody has what they need. Okay, and do not try to offer them anything. Why? Because you don't want to give them an injury. Okay, you don't want to make it so, you don't want to make it so, hold on one second. You don't want to make it people feel like that they're isolated, okay, like that they have no one to talk to, like they have to do what you say, okay, and you don't want to do that, okay, and the reason being is because it's not a civil liberty for you to have to take care of someone. It's not your civil liberty to have to say, you know what, I think I'm going to decide to take care of, the United States of America's children. It is very nice that the Human Services for Mexico thought that they were going to be able to help the United States of America with some of their issues, okay? And then they found out that, you know what, maybe I can't, okay? Because I just remembered I don't want them to have a happy civil liberty, okay? And it's not because someone's telling you all the time that Mexicans don't have civil rights here or don't have, a care here, okay? It's not that. Because people have to hear what you say first for them to remind you, okay? It's more like you said, well, I'm not here to give quality health care, okay? Or it's more like you said that, that you're planning to kill someone. You're planning to kill the clients, okay? It's like, you meddling around with people's things, okay? And so then people have to agree to remind you, okay, that you don't even have a real civil liberty here, okay, in the first place. So you really don't even need to express yourself so much, okay? You don't need to go and boycott. You can't vote. How are people closing their business down, closing other people's businesses down, choosing to, listen to what the Mexican says, about their business deals, okay? And how they want people to, not live right, not be together, and all this other stuff, okay? What is that about, okay? You have to understand that you do not have a point of view, okay? Nobody has to care about what any immigrant has to say. That's just the law. That's actually, I want to say, that's a statute of liberty. It's like a civil rights law. It's a statute of liberty law, okay? We do not have to care. So I don't know why, Mexicans or any immigrant would be so upset, okay? And then try to use themselves for when the business leaders say, well, we need someone to be the punching bag. And then they end up being the person who gets punched, all right? Because they're trying to escape. No, what you tell them is, because you're a professional kicker, you're a professional killer, you say, you know what, I don't take on jobs, okay? That's not going to be a real duty, okay? Because in the United States of America, we have an antitrust laws. You're sitting over there planning to kill someone that somebody else has to take care of, okay? That's inhumane and cruel. You might say, well, that's none of somebody's business. You're right. You're absolutely right. That's none of nobody's business. But guess what? Only that person has the right to kill someone. You don't have the right to kill them because they know them. Okay? They're the only ones who know them or has the right to be mad. Okay? If the person does something wrong to them. So the courts, the first thing they're probably going to do is try to figure out, well, why are you the killer? Okay? Who are you supposed to be? Okay? And it's not to, make fun of you so you can say, oh, well, I'm Jack Frost. No, it's not that. Okay? What it is that they're trying to figure out why would you have, what would be the motive? Like, what is the reason for you to that caused you so upset? Okay, someone who doesn't have human rights already. Someone who can stand here and tell me what the laws are and who knows them already. Someone who comes from a different heritage. Okay? A person who comes from a different religion. Okay? What reason do you have to be upset? You can't even tell me how you got in contact with him on the phone. Why? Because you said you wanted it to be a secret. Okay? So if you want it to be a secret and you don't really want people to know everything about you and how you all met and all this and that and stuff, because it's just going to sound like something rehearsed, or it's going to just sound like you were pirating, okay? It might actually tell a different story about you. It might tell that you were a hacker, okay? It's possible. Get you into more trouble. I mean, I don't really know. Okay, how far people want to go with their judiciary orders. Okay? But what I'm looking for is the biggest one. I'm always looking for the biggest one. Because you showed up on somebody else's property that you don't really know very, very well. Trying to start trouble, fighting and all this and that. Like endangering yourself. Like as if you having suicidal thoughts. Okay? You do not go on other people's property talking about, oh, you're bigger and stronger and better than them because you got like 100 men behind you, 100 men and women behind you, all with like these AK-47s. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. You know, they better get to work today. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Okay? Nobody cares that you were really just trying to be a bully, starting trouble. You understand that? Nobody cares. And you know why they don't care? Because you don't have any legal rights. Do you understand that? You don't have any legal rights to vote. You don't have any legal rights to suffer. So all I'm going to do is go over there and say, line them all up and arrest them. I don't care. Okay? Because you don't have a statute of liberty in this country. All the other immigrants have a statute of liberty, but you don't. You do not. Mexico does not have a statute of liberty. It doesn't matter if you have the hardest gangsters. It doesn't matter if you got the biggest, the largest militant forces. It doesn't matter. You all come from Mexico. I don't care. You know? I'm not scared of you. I don't care. Why? Because I've probably seen all that stuff before anyways. But the reason being is because I know that you don't have any rights. Do you understand that? So because you can't take a bad one. Okay, you can't take a bad one. You can't take a loss and feel humiliated for the rest of your life after we already done paid you. We already done paid you for the property. And you sitting up here acting like, somebody got to give you more. They got to give it back to you. You going to give us back our money? No, you can't. Can't. Why? Because you wrote down on a piece of paper that you wasn't worth that much to our traders. You see? You can't. See, because now the forefathers who went and took the land, who already died for the land, they're going to tell you that they already killed people from East and West Germany and all these other places that are on this Greece. Or you think people don't know who don't like Mexico? Greece do not like Mexico. Okay? You done kill all those people. And you think that you're gonna get something back. You're not. And I don't even want to be your friend. I don't even want to be your friend. I don't. Because me and Hitler, we probably know each other. Okay? And you know what me and Hitler is gonna say? That those people that were standing there talking about something that when they had no liberties were the ones who were sitting up there, they created the Holocaust themselves. That's what they're going to say. Okay? So white people and white American women need to be careful. Because you didn't tell black people that you were scared of these Spanish people. And you didn't tell us that there was a problem. You didn't tell us that, every single day they go around looking for French black people, French white people. Okay? You didn't tell us that. You didn't tell us that Japan and Haiti know each other. And that Japan goes and hires Haiti to kill black African Americans. And so this is why we see them on the sports field. And so I'm trying to figure out why you didn't call to include me. Okay? I'm trying to figure out why you didn't include the black American woman. It's not because you think that, I'm scared of you. No, it's because you know that it's game over. Okay, game over because there's no argument. There's nothing to talk about because there's no more bullying. There's no more kicking. There's no more nothing. Okay, why? Because we don't need to do all that. Who cares? Who cares? I don't care. Okay, because now, see, The black woman's voice is coming up. Why? Because the history books is coming back again. Because guess what? That was the one who wrote all the laws that says no incest. Okay, no child pornography. Those black women, black people. You wouldn't have these mobile homes if it wasn't for black people. Do you understand that? You should be very thankful and happy that black people are very smart. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Everything that you want to brag about, talk about, that might be why some people were out with their family picking up trash. Not for volunteering, but because that was their life. Okay? But it was because of black people that these homes came from. Okay? Some people resist righteousness in the right way. Okay? Some people resist righteousness in the right way and choose to live ignorant. Why? Because it's black people. Black American people. Jim Crow law. Okay. And so because people know that they have a constitution, okay, to not like black people, do yourself a favor, okay, and stay away from them. Stay away from those black American people, because it's not really all just about, who walked across the Salmon Bridge, okay, for the little girl, okay? It's not all about that. It's not all about movie stars and actors, because these are real life stories, okay? These are real life problems, because somebody is really, really serious. Really, really serious. And because you cannot accept the fact, okay, that black people are worthy. Okay? There are worthy black people that are not foreign immigrants. Alright? And you don't want to give credit. You want to say you stand above the law. You don't. Whoever it is that keeps telling you to stand above the law as a foreign immigrant is really trying to take things away from you, because you don't have a liberty right to stand up. You have a liberty right to sit down. And all you can do is tell those American people who know how to trust, all those American citizen people who know how to take care. All you can do to them is say, please choose the best quality health care for me. That's all you can do. Like President Trump said, make sure it's everything. Okay? Make sure the quality of care is with everything. Okay? Do you even know what everything is? You don't. You don't. And I'm not teaching a teenager who's not supposed to be an adult what everything is. Okay? Because the man already is supposed to know that he chose the woman to teach him what everything is. Okay? So that's why the older one is there. For the little ones who are still trying to figure it out. Because I know what goes into his quality health care. And I don't need to hide and say to you, well, we're just going to let him choose my daughter today, who's going to ask me, oh, Mom, should we do this? Should we do that? Should we do this? Should we do that? And then me looking for him, as if I'm giving a better quality of life. And then he starts thinking that I'm supposed to be. No, I'm just keeping it real with you. Because everybody's not into everything that everybody's into. Okay? So you're not going to be able to tell someone, oh, like you want to help them or you want to do something with them or whatever. Okay? You're not going to be able to, use people all the time. Okay? And have people answering you questions about how to save your life. Okay? Mothers and daughters are not supposed to be sharing the same food. Fathers and sons are not supposed to be sharing the same women. I mean, it's nice if you see a woman and you think she's pretty and you say to him, you say to your son, you know what, I met a woman today, she's so cute, but she's too young for me. She's a good looking woman, but she's too young for me. Would you like to meet her? It's okay for you to say that. Okay? But it's not okay for you to tell your son that you humped his girlfriend, who's now his wife. Why are you telling your son that you just humped his girlfriend? That is so icky. Oh, because I don't like he has a happiness. Well, if that's what the Constitution says, then that's a given right. It's not a right for you to go and hump your son's girlfriend. Okay? Because you want to make his life miserable. Why? Because if your son's life is miserable, then your life is miserable. Okay? You should want the best for you and your children. Oh, my Lord. I just don't understand why someone wants to be humanly cruel to someone. And then you want to act like you're giving them a lifetime persecution or prosecution. Oh, I want you to stay alone. What is that about? Why the heck do you want someone to stay at home alone so you can watch them? Okay, from a court system. Who is it? That white guy. What does he want to do that for? I seen him the other day in the news. Get that white guy's name. I know who it is now. See his face. What was that about? He's just a person who's miserable. He looks like a white guy that was supposed to be on a talk show or something. Let's see. Is the wine over here? Oh gosh. The wine box vibe. It is. Let me see. Wine box. These ones are out. See. Yeah, what is that white guy's name? I think, is it Kreger? Kreger, I think his last name begins with a G. And it's like, what is that about? Why do you want to sit and watch people live by themselves? Where does he get that from, that white man? Because his family his family must have killed black people. That must be his heritage. So his heritage must be that he kills black people. That's where his family come from. But the only thing is that I have to find out. I think, what is his name? Where did he get that from? Oh gosh. I mean, why would he let his family in his mind still kill black people? That's weird. That's what he wants to do. When he said that he had a constitution to protect people's lives. I know it's here. What size is this one? 10 pounds? 1.5 pounds? What is it? 11 pounds? Let me see. Frisco Tide. Puree. Here it is right here. Tidy Cats. Okay. Which one is that one? That's 20 pounds. Okay, so they have 20 pounds. What is this one? This one, is Slump Litter. That's 23 pounds. What is this one? 23 pounds. Hmm. Oh, it's supposed to be $5. Okay, they don't have it. They only have. Let's see here. Item unavailable. Okay. Can't find on shelf. Okay. It's supposed to be. What is that one right there? Oh, right here. Tidy litter. Okay. And okay, so forever. Let's see, kiddo litter. What is this one? This one is. What is this one? It's 20. What is this one? Fresh, free breeze. Uh-oh. Your customer. What is this one? £7. And let's see, what's the other one? For £10. What's happening? I don't know. Which one was that one? Forever. Where's Forever? Daily essentials. Oh gosh. What is going on? Let me see. What I think I need more Wi-Fi. Let me see. Also, they don't have any 10-pound bags. No internet. Okay. No internet. Oh, my customer wants me to call him. Uh-oh. Where's Vibe Wine? Where's the wine? Wine? What? I can't remember. What would that be? I gotta go fix it up. Okay, so it should be over here. Okay, so they do have Vibe Wine. I think it was the peach one. Come on. Okay, so they said tidy. Okay, okay, they do have, okay, Puree Tidy Cats. Okay, let me see. I think I did see that. Oh, the £7. Okay, let me see. What was the other option for, let me see. Okay, which one is this one? Oh, fruit punch, 3 of them. And then yes. Oh, Lord. Okay, so now we go. Oh wait, sorry. So I found these ones. Scan barcode. And yeah, scan again. I'll have to go. Okay, let's see. What's this? Where'd it go? Oh my gosh, it disappeared. Okay, so we have. Oh, that one was a £7. They don't have a. They have Purine. What is that? Purine Kitty Cat. Okay. Alright, let me turn this off. Okay, let me see, hold on. Okay. All right. No declined. Okay, let me turn off this one. Let's see something. Is this going to try to come back or down? And this one says item unavailable, missing from shelf. Might be in a higher shelf. Gosh, why did I do that? Oh, can't find item. Okay, right there. Okay, so we said, okay, Glade. Okay, this one. We have this one. So that's the right one. That should be enough. Okay. So we have to figure out how people are gonna relate to each other, because when someone is fighting all the time and then someone else says, but I have to work, okay? That must be the men in their household with those women. And so what he needs to understand is that if things are too expensive, he has to say it. If she thinks things are too expensive, she has to say it. But they're not allowed to fight. They're not allowed to break up people's stuff. What? Barcode not recognized. They're not allowed to fight and tell people that they're not good enough. You have to. What? Isn't this the right one? Non-clumping cat litter pureed. Because there's no affirmative action. But somebody is trying to use affirmative action. Okay. Alright, let's go to cashier. Confirm payments.
At least you don't feel it. That's good. And two packs of beer with my mom. I'm gonna ask. Yes, I got it. Cowboys got cabled down. I saw that. That was good. That was a good pickup. I'm telling you what, man. Fun. Yeah. 551. You can open it. Actually, we improved a lot on it. Oh, I'm 95. I'm 95% happy with it. Because Downs is a multi-position back. Oh, by far. Yeah, by far. Like, he can play corner. I mean, he's going to play slot corner. It's good with that. Appreciate you, buddy. Take care. All right.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good. So I'm just shopping for
You
the
do.
lights? Okay. I have it in my phone.
I have to have
Apple
it
Card.
'cause-
You gotta scan it. Okay. Can I hold you right here for 1 second?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. I'll be right
It'll
back.
be just a second for her to get here.
Oh shoot! Oh my gosh! Wait, I have it on me. Uh-oh. I may have to cancel and turn it off. Hold on. Oh shoot! Wait. Damn. I'm just gonna cancel it. Damn! I just forgot that. Is it on? Oh, you know what? You know what? I know what I'm gonna do. Hold on. I just gotta pause for 1 second. Let's see. What's up? So hold on. Sir. Can you just put it to the side for 1 second? I'll be right back. Okay.
There you go.
Sure. Come on, Lord. Okay. I was just thinking to myself, I seen one of those girls drive by, and I'm just like, you know what? Can you please cool it if you can? Because really, I don't like that people's family members are working hard to protect them and they want to play pretend with someone or with the law or whatever. And the truth is that we don't need people pretending with those women. So if the women want to know, I don't know his brother, okay? Like, I know of him, but I don't know him, okay? Just like he doesn't, probably really want you to know which one is which, okay? But you probably don't really need to know which one is which because you're not really watching the sports, you're kind of just following along with some monologue or something. And, you're just following along with some entrapment case from Mexico or something. And it looks like, I don't want to say it's another RICO case, but some, those other countries, they don't really care. Okay, if it's a RICO case or if it's a money laundering case or some type of domestic dispute, okay, they don't really care. Okay, and the reason why they don't care is because they come in this country with asylum names. Okay, and so what that means is that you're able to give a false identity, and that's really scary. That's where the kidnapping comes in at, because if you're in the house with someone and you're giving people a fake name, okay, then yeah, you're giving people a fake name. Now what happens is that yeah, you're giving people a fake name. Nobody really knows who you are. Okay, so now it's like you can kind of get away with kidnapping, okay, or hiding things from someone, or taking someone to a faraway place when we have no access to your name. Now that's probably why Mexico wants people to go into their country and have their license plates with Mexico on it. Okay, but people think that people are not finding out information. All right, but you don't need to, everything doesn't need to be so upsetting. Okay, now you're driving Mexico's car, or you're driving a rental car that's from Mexico. Okay, so it has their plates, their insurance, and everything, and now they're all upset because they're like, we only want selected Americans in our car because it's gonna, give an identity to the person. Okay, so I've seen some of the men, I know of some of the men trying to date, the car dealer, okay, because they're trying to, the car dealer's daughter, okay, because they're trying to get the car for free. Or I've seen, people dating the house builder, because they want to see if they can rent the house or live there for free, okay. And I don't know why this is a business for some people, but it is, okay? And so that's why they don't always like to bring everybody around, because they can't figure out, well, what's my business with you? Okay, so if the men know that they're doing that kinds of business and they know that their business is like that, then you have to know when to pull out. You have to know when to pull out and know when to mind your business, because guess what? The men are doing their business. You don't need to have your whole family around the men when they're doing their business. You don't need to bring your children around them when they're doing their business. Why? Because it doesn't sound like it makes any sense to you. And guess what? It really doesn't make any sense to any of those people either, because they want to think that, whatever they're giving to someone, is for their benefit too. Like as if it's a donation. Not a donation, but it's like, like sort of like a donation, but it's like a temporary use, or maybe some type of like barter exchange or something. It's like a business deal, okay? And so if you already have someone, listed as your wife or something, then everybody's supposed to know, oh gosh, well, he can't rent the father's car, he can't, rent the father's house, okay? You have to know that means that he wants to change the contract. You have to have intelligence about it, okay? It doesn't matter if the father wants to get high off of drugs. I know it sounds really easy, but that's what we do here in the United States, okay? You have to listen to what the person is saying to you. If they're saying that I married someone else that's going to be responsible for me, for my life, for my security, then you have to say, okay, oh well. Okay, you don't say, well, I'm gonna steal all these things from her. No, you don't. Okay, or I'm gonna, how are you supposed to get access to a person's paycheck? I mean, the people who agreed was the sports federation. Okay, so I mean, that's like you going. I wish, okay, you could see that there's a sports committee somewhere. Okay, they're international too. Okay, but there's a sports committee somewhere. And they all sat at a table. They need to put on their juris duty robes for you, so you can see them, and for you to see them, and for them to see you as a Mexican alien. You don't go and tell people, okay, who's responsible for shares and sharing with people, that you have the right to take their things, or you have the right to, ruin somebody else's life because he agreed to keep his life secure, or because he did what the human resources person said, or because he decided to block you. Blocking people is part of France's heritage. Okay? Blocking people is what you do every single day as Mexican people. Okay? You block people every single day. You block people from careers. You block people because you say you want to be able to get away with crimes. And we don't know where that comes from because you're doing all the crimes right in the front face of the law enforcement. Okay? You don't care. You'll pull out a needle. You'll pull out a gun. You pull out drugs. You pull out all kinds of stuff in front of those police officers. That is humanly cruel and very, very mean. Okay? You do not care about any law enforcement, any police officer whatsoever. You are not supposed to be, pulling out all these needles and all this stuff that we're not supposed to have. Now, if you pulled out a bullet, you have a gun in your house, the first thing they're going to say is, hey, do you have your ammunition separate from your gun? Do you have your gun inside a concealed case? I mean, you have to be able to show that you are a responsible person. The reason why I say, hey, we sell bullets in America is because we don't sell drugs. Okay? And so you might think that we do, but we don't. Okay? We do sell drugs, like prescription drugs, but we sell drugs that, are legal by the FDA. Why? Because that means that those doctors know how to help the body, treat the body if they have an overdose. Okay? They know what to do. That's why those drugs are legal. Okay? They know how to prescribe them to people so that way they can be able to live and get off of the drug if they want to. Okay? You have to learn how to be more intelligent and smarter. Okay? If that sounds like it's too much for you, it's because we don't have our average citizens from around the way. We don't have them at the Federation all the time. Okay? Those black men standing on the street corner, pumping, selling drugs, whatever you want to call it, looking at the girls hanging out, they don't end up at the Federations the first day. Okay? They tried that already, and guess what? They said, they found the man dead. Okay, they found a man dead somewhere because he was really from, Virgin Islands, and he was dating some woman, and then they started fighting, of course, about sex. This one was sleeping with this one, that one was sleeping with that one, okay? Yeah. So what I'm trying to explain to you is that, people from around the way, people from the hood, people from the street corner, they don't go to the Federations right away. Okay? House builders' children, I don't know why you're at the Federation. Okay? I don't know why the orphans are there. I'm very serious. These people might think that they're doing partnership deals, they might be selling something, but you carrying drugs. Okay? We're not supposed to have a house builder who's carrying drugs. Okay? That to me looks like it's a front. It looks like you took somebody's cash, okay, and you're trying to give yourself a job. Okay? And for some people, that sounds like a good idea. Okay, if your business partner agreed. But then he had to tell the traders, and he decided to build a family community, village, homes, okay, inside of Mexico. And he has to tell everybody, did you tell that woman that? Did you tell her that? Because guess what? I'm not the one who's really responsible for that. Okay? The United States of America's Security Board commissions is. Why? Because I don't know what the laws are to building property, in another land. Why? Because we don't give those people any rights. So why would we give those people homes? It doesn't make any sense. Why would you go and decide to build a home in Mexico if we don't give those people any human rights? Why would you go and build a home in Asia and we don't give those people human rights either? Those people don't have a constitutional right either. The only people who have human rights really is the American citizen, those who are born here in the United States of America. We do not give those people any human rights. So if we don't give people human rights, then you cannot think to take care of them. Okay, I wouldn't go to Britain and Europe and say, hey, I'm going to build a home for you. No, we don't give them any, we don't give those militant soldiers anything under the British Act. Okay, it is not fair for you to go and give something to somebody or to attempt to share something with somebody who, when the law says you can't. I'll be right back. Yes. So that's why I do not know why President Trump or anyone would think to say to themselves, hey, these people here are Mexican. Really? Are you trying to explain why somebody can't have what they need and what they want, why you're depriving people's human rights? Okay? So it's like you can only say, well, you're not a human, or I can't give you anything, or I can deprive you of human rights if you say you're Mexican. Okay? Why? Because Mexicans don't have any rights here. So I don't know why anybody would keep saying that they're Mexican. That's the law. Okay? Your opinion is your opinion. But the law is that there's nothing there. There's no opportunity. There's like really nothing there for Mexicans. That's why you see them here with their own governments. They're probably buying people houses. They have their own loan officers and everything else. You cannot take a loan out for anybody or from anybody who doesn't like you. You cannot have a loan. They know that. They know that. That's why they deny the American citizens. Okay? You cannot have a loan for a car or anything from anybody who doesn't like you. Okay? The Mexicans do not like us. Okay? They're not supposed to like us because we cannot take care of them. When we look at them, when they look at us, we probably make them sick. So everybody was supposed to know to stay on your own side of the street. Why are they in our sports leagues pretending to be security? I don't know. I think they're pretending to be Native American Indians because they agreed to speak French and to be friends with people with French. Okay? And that might even upset some people because you don't need to speak French all the time to make it so you're a unity, especially not in the United States of America. Not after you just made the United States of America go to war with you against those people. That was a Mexican war. Lift up the blanket. Okay, that was a Mexican American war. Just like when people are trying to find out who killed Haiti's president, those were Mexican Americans. Okay, who killed and shot, the other. Why don't they? I guess the other president, he disappeared. He must be dead too. Who killed him? Some white Haitians or white Americans, something like that. Okay, but the whole point is that, you know what I'm saying? You don't plan to spend the rest of your life hanging out with someone. Oh, and I'm sorry, that might have been Japan. Okay, so even though Japan might have killed the president, many, many years ago, and then, some white American or some white whatever went and killed, the new president from Haiti. Now, I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of problems there. A lot of problems. Okay? But we're not really, really supposed to have this jurisdiction where people really, really think that we're all supposed to live together in harmony. Those people don't have no fights at all. People are really trying to hide the history between China and Mexico, with their heroin war. Okay? And I think that there might have been a South American war too. Okay, over the drug trade. Nobody sees them fighting anymore over drugs. Why? Because China, she will get high off of, Mexico's drugs. Okay? In Haiti too. Okay? Nobody has a problem with that. Okay? Nobody has a problem with that. Okay? But the question is, why not? Why not? Okay? But the real reason is because nobody cares. Okay? Nobody cares. Nobody cares about the restitution. Nobody cares. Okay? So if you don't care, and now all of a sudden you all think that you're joining forces against the United States of America, I'm just trying to figure out why you all not fighting. Because one of you all want to have the United States as an alliance. Okay? And you know who wants to have the United States as an alliance? France. France. Okay? But the French can't get rid of the Mexicans because the governor decides to put all of his interests from Mexico into France. So it looks like that they're above the recession. That's probably what the little black boys see. Okay? So the little black boys or little black men, what they're seeing when they're trying to figure out, hey, what's going on? Why the Mexicans and the French speaking, it's because they have money in France. But you should tell them that you don't qualify to rent one of their cars. Well, to rent to own a car from them, or get or finance a car from them. Why? So that will let them know to leave you alone. Okay? You can't keep bothering somebody who doesn't have the right credit for you. That's why you said, hey, I need an American. If your brother can get it and he speaks French and he's Haitian, well, good. You should show that. Okay? Show that he's the friend, not you. Okay? And the reason being is because Haiti has a consulate, an embassy in Mexico. Okay? Whereas they don't have one in Texas. Okay? So what does that mean? Something and something equals something. Something and nothing equals nothing. Okay? That's a math problem. The Mexicans are supposed to know how to build buildings. If you know how to build buildings, then what's something times nothing equals what? Nothing. Okay? So don't keep trying to make it so you can be first in America. There's nothing here. Something plus something in France equals something. Okay? Something plus something in Haiti equals something. Okay? So that's how we're supposed to be living. All right? That's how we're supposed to be doing our business. That's how things are supposed to be done. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because people are so confused. And then you get upset and get mad when people don't want you to destroy their lives, okay? Because they don't want you trying to custom laws. And the custom laws that you're under, okay, allows you to kind of get away with all these things. But that's French. Okay, that's France. France uses custom laws. Why? Because they don't really have a constitution. I think that they just got a constitution. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. You don't really need to be traveling so much all over the place. And so if the man says that he speaks French, but in his mind he's really African, but wherever he thinks he's coming from, custom laws are obeyed. Well, guess what? If he says he's married, then he's married. Okay? But you don't need to think that you need to challenge his marriage because he's always with you. No, because you're the house builder's daughter. Okay, or you're the car driver's daughter, okay, or you're social services, you're the State Department's daughter. Okay, so that's not the same thing. What you should be doing is you should be at home playing with your dolls, okay? And I know you see all of them. I know you see all those women. That's not the same woman who's friends with everybody. You see the security, the Homeland Security's daughter, okay? Always in your face, right? Okay. So you should learn that, the reason why your jurisdiction, is always with that person is because your parents allowed you to, or told you to, or want you to, or calls you up and says, hey, such and such and such needs a person to hang out with. Why don't you see if they want to hang out? But guess what? There's like 100 men. Okay? So what we're trying to figure out is how she agreed to choose that one. No, don't choose the one for Taisha Isom, because you think that I might have money there for me to go out to dinner with, so you want to help and use yourself to take him out to dinner. Don't use Taisha Isom for that. Okay? Don't do that. What you need to do is you need to find a way to use yourself. Okay, you need to find another way. You need to find another way for you to go out and have fun with a guy that you met somewhere and let him keep his belongings. Why? Because I think that's mean. If he's a cheap guy, okay, if he's like a bastard and he's kind of cheap and he doesn't want to think that he had to buy 2 hats, don't use me to get the hat, because that's my hat. You see what I'm saying? So we have to make sure we keep everything's in order, because now you all agree to go shopping in the United States of America. Okay, you guys agreed to go and, buy a house and a car or something like that for yourself. Okay? But don't do that, because because you just acknowledged that he was with somebody. Okay? So if he was with somebody, then that means that you if that's what he's doing, okay, Lord, okay, if that's what he's doing, then don't go and bother him. You should say, do you think she would feel uncomfortable with this? Okay, buy it yourself. Don't go there and be like, oh, well, I'm gonna go and buy myself a hat. Okay, I'm going to go buy myself a hat with her money. Don't do that, because now you're walking around telling everybody that you got a hat from somebody that I know, when you're somebody's daughter who's really embezzling, okay, and really stealing from the job. Okay, you don't need to steal from the job. You don't need to steal from the job. You don't need to use your daughter, okay, to help you to get more opportunity, because you just acknowledged that it belonged to somebody. Okay, so if you knew to choose him because something belonged to somebody, then you should have known to leave him alone. Okay, because soon enough he's gonna start crying and say, well, I gotta go over here. Now you're like, no, here's some drugs, here's some heroin. I'm gonna tell. Okay, you sitting up here drugging up somebody else's mate to keep him around. Did you ask him if I had to drug him? No, I don't have to drug him. We don't use heroin in the United States. Just because, see, you went under Mexico's laws. Just because Mexico uses heroin, you don't give him heroin. And you say, oh, well, the president told me to give him heroin because he looks like a drug addict. He's so skinny. No, you were supposed to tell the president that you don't know what that is. Okay? You do not tell a president that you know what that is. You do not. And the reason why you don't tell him that is because it's a sovereignty violation. Okay? It's a sovereignty crime for you to hurt another country's people. Just like I told you, we're not responsible for those children. So get the nanny. Get the nanny and let her take care of them at her house in Mexico. Okay? Because you said that you were going to do something else for work. You didn't say that you were going to go and take people's things and then exchange it and confuse their minds so they can't wake up with drugs. Hi. I'm here to pick up a tray.
What is it?
Tray A. Yes. I'm going to use your restroom, okay? Is it there? You have it? No, is his stuff there? Yes? Okay. Thank you. She can't hear me, so I will wait. Let me see. Okay. I was trying to call this place to place an order, but the lady couldn't hear me. Hold on. I wanted to see if I could get like a muffin or something. Let me see. I'll get a muffin. It's like a little snack. I'm trying to see. Oh yeah, I have corn. Let me see. What is this? Wild berry? Oh gosh. This is a wild. What is this one? A wild berry? Okay. No. Oh, okay. Go ahead. Yes, she can hear me.
You have your phone number with us?
I do.
You can do it.
All right. How much is the donut? $169.
What?
$168 for the donut.
Which one?
The powder one.
$239.
Okay.
Powder raspberry. $239.
Okay. Thank you.
And it's supposed to be 59 cents.
64 cents.
Okay.
Let me see. Let me call her back. All right. So. Okay. All right. Same drop this off and then go pick up the other order. Should be ready. Yay. By the time I get there, I like when restaurants are accepting orders over the phone. That is so perfect for us because the customers are ready to eat. They have expectations. So I'm glad. Thank you. But I know all that talk, and a lot of people have, different foreigners in their families, but I think some people should have. Well, I think the Mexicans and some of the Asian Orientals should be careful because a lot of people have people in their families and in their heritage that all got along. Okay? So if you see that there's African, with a French influence there, a lot of times that means that wherever the African heritage came from, there was a colonization that happened there with those people many, many years ago. Okay, but I don't know if that country is still owned by France. Okay, so I don't really know if Madagascar, or I know Nigeria isn't owned by France anymore. They're independent. Okay, but you want to just make sure so you're not purposely stepping on somebody else's toes, because you really should feel uncomfortable with those black men, and that's why you're drugging him. Okay, because you're not drugging the Mexicans, we don't see him leaning. You're not drugging the Asian Orientals, we don't see him leaning either. We see that there's, people who are really out with their families, and there's nothing wrong with people having family. That's what you're supposed to be born into. But I guess because we have a lot of orphans, and the orphans are trying to, become, well known, or they're trying to, find their place in the world. I think that sometimes they might be jealous. Okay, they might be jealous because there wasn't a family heritage that doesn't like certain people, like that guy that I was telling you guys about. What's his name? Gregor. Do you think he's a judge or something against? Not Greg Abbott. It's another one that it's like an actor or something, but he's a new judge. Like not Gregory Groger. I don't know. I'm having to find out what his name is. But anyways, there's this judge that sits on our Supreme Court, and he's very mean. Okay, he's a very, very mean judge, but it's because of his heritage. Okay, so he might actually have a background of Mexicans. Okay, as being his movie star friends. But that's okay though, because guess what? I'm not bothering them. But maybe he wants to be able to go into other people's environments and feel comfortable, but you shouldn't feel comfortable. Okay, so if I was a leader, I would tell people to go over there and bother those people at their party. Okay, because they're not supposed to be feeling comfortable with Mexicans. I'm very serious. Mexicans are not supposed to be in our house. The Asians, Orientals are not supposed to be feeling comfortable. You're not supposed to be feeling comfortable with them because you feel uncomfortable with me. Okay, that's why, it is good for us to make sure that all of the children, no matter where they come from, are getting to know all of the animals. You see all your animals in the neighborhood. It's because you want the animals to be familiar with you as a human being. But if there's an animal that's scared of someone, it's because he's never seen them before. Okay? And so if that person comes from a part of an Africa place where it wasn't colonized, okay, by French people, you don't force French people to go there and then drug him. Okay? You do not drug people to make it so people will like you, so people will accept you. And so some of the guys, I've seen that they're forcing to have sex with those people because they want them to like them, but you can't make them like you. Why? Because you're a different black person. Okay, when our first heritage started here in the United States, okay, the African people were probably really Nigerian. Okay, so Nigerian. And I just told you that the French people, France had colonized them, but they became independent. That's why they have the British accent. Okay, so when they became independent, they're no longer, okay, seen as those people anymore. A family member of those people had to fight for their rights. They had to fight for their heritage. Okay, Asia, you should not want to make people refighting all over again because you don't have a human right. You don't have a human right because your people don't want you to have a human right. Now you're forcing and showing that you got your own people and they're a bunch of kickers. Okay, that's not very nice. Okay, and then a Puerto Rican girl who's pretending that she's from Cuba, she wants to show now that she's, a kicker too. Okay, I know that that's Korea, but you know what I'm saying. All because you don't really have that many Bitcoins. Okay, it's okay that you don't really have a lot of Bitcoins. There's a lot of stock companies that don't have a lot of people, okay, purchasing their shares. Okay, but if you're gonna start fighting Somebody might come over to you and say, are you licensed? Okay, are you licensed to sell, to talk about those finances? Are you, that investment, that financial investment, are you licensed? Why? Because people don't want you selling them things that don't have longevity. Make sure you tell the Bitcoins fluctuate. Okay, that's how we know that it's a stock investment. Okay, it's a company investment share. It fluctuates. Okay, so it goes up and it goes down. Why would you want someone to put $300,000 into, you know what I'm saying, a stock that could go up and go down in their shares, and it's only $1.1 million of shares? What does that mean? That means your stocks are going to go up and down up to $1.1 million. Okay, so you're going to have to know when to sell out. Okay, and that stock might not really do a split, because the way that they're selling it where it has no profitability, because they're out here stealing and taking things from people, and they're pretending that they're buying their schools, their homes, their cars, and everything from Bitcoins. Okay, so that's like a whole nother economy, but it only started because those countries said, you know what, I'm not buying USD dollars. So now what they do is they're trading Bitcoins, and so it might even be a secret. Okay, the Asians like to have a secret, so their secret might be that, you know, people don't really know how much $2, $5 is in a Bitcoin. Okay, so they're selling you Bitcoins, but when it converts over to USD dollars, how much is that? $1 or $2 or $3 after you just went and had sex with somebody? $1 or $2, $3 is all you gave them, and you're supposed to be a prostitution ring? I don't think so. Not on my time. You see, that's why you guys are hiding, because you know that I know how to go and sit and calculate the Bitcoins and tell you exactly how much Bitcoins I'm supposed to have. Why? Because it's not because I'm a mathematician. It's because that's what you're supposed to do. But you want to start kicking and fighting over because you know that you're not giving people all of the Bitcoins. Do you understand that? And people in the United States of America don't like to be ripped off. We like to make sure that we're getting everything that we came for. So much, sir.
Perfect. You get the ID?
Yes, sir. Thank you. I'm just going to have you sign this, sir, and then I'm going to just take a picture.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. I'm so sorry, technology.
Messing up.
I
Yeah.
know, it just takes so long. Oh, my goodness. Oh, no, wait, it did mess up. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Can I
you
do
need
it
it
one
again?
more time? Yeah. How did you know it was messing up?
Oh, I don't know. It's just taking a long time.
I think you know what it is. I think it has to do with your license. You don't have like a regular driver's license, right? No.
That's the new ones.
Oh, for the commercial, yeah. Yeah, they don't have a commercial option on here, but it should still work. Oh gosh. Okay.
There it goes.
I think I should have took it now. Now let's see what's happening. That's funny. Do you all have trouble with work? Oh, it's not. Oh, it says there was an error scanning the age verification. Please retry and scan. Uh-oh. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can do it manually.
Okay.
Because you know what it is? I think it's because yours isn't it's like a commercial. Let's see. Oh, let me see if I can. Oh, it says enter the photo manually. Let me see if I can take a picture of it manually. Let's see what happens when I take a picture of it manually. Okay. Now what? Okay, hold still. It's analyzing the picture. It might. Do you have somebody else with the license? It might
Yeah.
be because it's a commercial. We'll try it one more time and see what happens. We'll do it because I know that it's taking the picture. I know it's taking the license. It's just that it's a commercial
Not reading
license.
it right or something.
Yeah, it's not reading it inside the system right. Let's see what happens. I think it is, but oh gosh, we got to get to the next part. Oh no, it doesn't. It doesn't work.
Didn't work again?
Yeah.
Let me see. I have my old one in my car. Just saw it.
Okay. Let me turn my car off too. Thank you, sir. Oh, let me see. Oops.
It's cut, but it's the old.
Okay.
It's the old one. Maybe it likes the old one better.
Oh, it's the same thing. Commercial. I think it's just because it's a commercial. Sorry, sir.
No, you're good.
I was trying to use the sunlight. You stepped into the sunlight. Oh my goodness. Yeah. And it's too bad because it doesn't give you a manual option.
Yeah. Let me go get hers.
Here, let's try. Let's see if this one works.
Upload successful.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, it worked.
Yes, that one works.
I like the old one.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay. Oh, can I just take a picture of the bag?
Yeah.
Of the bag of stuff. Yeah. I know. I'm so happy. Yes.
You want it over there?
No,
Or
it's right
just
here.
me?
It's fine.
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir. Have a good day. Okay, bye-bye. Right. Someplace else. Someplace else. Wow. All right, let me go over here really fast. Let me go pick up, because I think this one should be ready now. All right. Got me a donut. With a little ride. Okay. Should be ready now. Where's it located? I do not know where this place is. Oh, my Lord. I do not know why people keep saying bad words to themselves. But somebody needed to investigate that and figure out why would somebody keep saying something crazy like that. You know what I'm saying? You sitting here telling me a person's name, and you sitting here telling somebody that you did something, but to those people, they still together. So to those people, they're not apart. You think that they are. Because that's what you plan, but they're not. But they plan for you to be separated as a white woman in your mind. Why? Because you don't tell them what they're doing. They tell you what they're doing. He never said that. I never said that. Nobody knows why those Haitian white women keep thinking that they have rights to American citizens' belongings when we already told them that the law says you can't. That baby is not his. It's a dog. Or a cat. trafficking people. Okay? But I know why. It's because that judge that I was saying, he and those white Haitian people, they're mean to black people. She's probably seen fighting black people. Ask her. Give her a lie detector test. I guarantee you she's going to say she was mean and fighting black people too. Alright? So she wants to keep that heritage going. Nobody knows where that comes from. Fighting black people. Hitting black people. Where she get that from? That sounds terrible to me. That's definitely not a contestant fighter. And she's not a street fighter either. She's a headbanger fighter. Okay? She is a headbanger fighter. And then some of them try to say, well, how come this person's not scared of me? She thinks because she's Haitian and white, she thinks she has a little bit of black in her. Okay, that's what she thinks. She thinks that she's a little bit cuter, a little bit better, than somebody else or whatever, because she's supposed to have like this mixed blood or something. But the truth is that, now I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't really know any Haitian white women. I'm not going to lie to you. I do know Haitian black women. We used to be in a singing group together. We probably used to hang out together at school. I mean, one of my friends, she started speaking French. Another one of my friends, she's Jamaican. Oh, no. Yeah, and I do have one Haitian. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, her name was Jennifer. And her boyfriend, they had got married during high school years. Yeah, we were really good friends. But I don't know any Haitian people. Like, I know French black women too. I don't know any white Haitian people. I'm serious, I don't. I mean, maybe the commissioner's white Haitian. But I really don't know. Like, either he was born in Haiti or France, so he might be a white French. But I don't know any black and white Haitians with the black hair. I think I've seen her before, and she has a nasty attitude, and some of them smoke crack cocaine, so like their teeth are really messed up. But I really don't know any. I don't know any of them. Like, I couldn't say that, like, we hung out together. She came over my house. She stayed the night. I never met any. I'm serious. And I don't think she would like me. Because she thinks that she has an order in her mind where she don't even like black Haitian people. Okay? She thinks that she has, it's like a stigma that she has in her mind. So because she doesn't really like black Haitian people, she definitely ain't gonna like black American women. Okay? Because she thinks that she's better than them. But I don't know how you can think that you're better than someone's country when they just told you that it was an executive order to not give Haitian people anything. What color Haitian did she think that meant? And guess what? It was the white Haitian people who agreed to close the Texas consulate. And probably the white Haitian people who agreed to close down to make it so there isn't no money that goes to them anymore from the United States. Okay? So I don't know why we would have Haitian people saying, well, I thought I took something from somewhere. See, the men have to listen. You have to listen. It's not about you trying to do, you can do business with people, right? But you do business with people as far as you can see them. Okay? We don't need the administrator in the house to stay the night. We don't need everybody to stay the night at our house. Why? Because we need to know that we own our own stuff. Okay? You're your own property owner now. Okay? So this is why children can't be always running around all over the place, because you might need to make sure that you have someone there that's mature that can help people to be organized when the mind is disorganized from falling or hitting their head on something. Okay? She needs to get out of his face, because she probably wants to kick him down when he's already down. And see, that's what I'm saying. I don't understand why these people can get into people's environments and be violent. Okay? Because she knows that nobody knows who she is. Okay? I don't know any Orientals either. Every time I see them, I stare at them and they look the other way. Okay? Or we're just servicing each other. We don't really have any beef. We don't really have any problems with each other. Okay? Or she stares at me, like she thinks I'm her mama or something. I don't know why that woman always thinks I'm her mama. When I see them online or something, we're respectful. I think I had met one substitute teacher. He was a man. That's how I knew that, Asian Orientals really love to teach. And that's good. I like that they like to teach. And I like to watch them teach. I like to watch them do their thing. But what I don't like is that these people do not understand that that people, okay, in a spirit and mind, cannot always wake up and come home to you. Okay? Unless it's really like people, I know that like there's some home, what do you call that? In college, you have like the person, the leader, who's like, telling people, okay, this is your roommate. Okay? So if you know that you're somebody's roommate from the sports team, then you just say to somebody, this is my roommate. Okay? But you don't have to consume yourself with all Mexicans. You don't have to consume yourself with all African people. Okay? Or Haitian people, whatever. Why? Because that's not really what you're accustomed to. Even if somebody says, oh, well, this person is ugly. That's okay. You know why it's okay? Because you were raised with ugly. But a lot of these men, I think, also are not leaving their past relationships. Okay, so you want to try to hold on to your relationships and stuff like that. But there's a reason why people broke up. Okay, people broke up not because of the Palm Beach tan. Okay, people broke up, okay, because it's not fitting for the law. It's not that it's not fitting for the Lord. It's not fitting for the law. And so you all have to know how to be friendly with someone and be cordial and be respectful and wish good for people and hope that people don't get into trouble. Okay, hope that people don't get injuries. Hope that people, will have some peace in their life. Why? Because you can't be with them. So all you can do is hope that the person is with is a loving person to them and cares about them. Why? Because you care about them. But if you're a person who gives people crack, okay, that is not a person who shows that they care. Okay, it should not be a forced economics to be with someone who's forcing crack on you. Crack cocaine, because their teeth are falling out. They want your teeth to fall out too. No. Sounds like a lot of jealousy. And women need to understand, and the men too. Do not think because you need money, you're to force American citizens into anything because you need money and they know that they can't give it to you. So instead you're going to sell them crack. No, you sell them a shirt. You sell them pants. Okay? You don't tie their arms up into a knot and put it behind them and then kick them in their face. That is very mean. And then a bunch of people are watching on camera. You understand that? I don't care if you just tap him with your foot. You don't tap her, him, nobody. Okay? You don't do that. Because there are people watching you. And I don't like that nobody from security called for help. Nobody's calling for help. Nobody's calling to say, hey, that's kind of weird. You know, so what? We're mad because he doesn't want to share with us, but you don't have to kick him in his face. Okay? You don't have to punch him. Okay? You don't strap people up and tell them they can't move. No. You'll probably have to find a way to arrest him. Okay, I know that everybody's saying, well, what's done is done. Well, what's done is done. But guess what? He hasn't been on years on drugs. So he doesn't have to be a crackhead. How about that? He hasn't been years on drugs as a drug addict. He might not have to be a crackhead. Are you going to be mad about it? Okay? You don't need to give someone who's by himself crack. You don't need to pull out a pipe and say, here, smoke this. Well, give him a bottle of morphine and say, here, inject this. That's crazy. That is so crazy. I wish my healthcare teacher from high school was here and could know that. As a black woman, I wonder what she would say. You know, we don't give people morphine.